What's going on, beautiful people? Welcome back to the channel. It's your man, Jamil Muhammad. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Once again, coming live from the classroom. Once again, I had a quick thought as I'm teaching this science lesson to my students. We're talking about critical thinking, logical fallacies, because at the base of science is question, is inquiry, is investigation, right? So when people tell us whatever they tell us, it is your right to be skeptical of the things that they tell you. Most times, especially in politics, people want you to take what they're saying at face value. They don't want you to think about it. They want you to say, this person is an authoritative figure, they're credible, they must be telling the truth. So they don't want you to think about the things that they tell you. It is our job as scientists, as mathematicians, as thinkers, as people in general. You don't even have to consider yourself any of those things. You're a person with a brain, with a mind of your own. And it is your job and your duty to use that same mind that was given to you, right? So this thought I had, which I have with many different people, they have this notion or this claim that sugar is bad for you. So a couple questions that I have for those people. Is this statement true? Is it true all the time? We have many different dramatic expressions of the way people consume sugar, especially in America. We consume sugar in ways that are in high quantities and very frequently. So I would suggest that sugar isn't bad for you. Rather, it is the way that we use sugar, the way that we process and refine it. We take it out of the foods and put it in high concentrations. The method or the way that we use sugar can be, and it has shown to be, very detrimental to your health. But we can't say sugar in general. We have to define what that means, because you have sugar in vegetables, you have sugar in fruits, and those aren't necessarily the sugars that are causing these health problems, right? These problems are from years of consuming high fat, high sugar content within the food that we eat, and we eat it all the time. We eat it all day, never give our digestive system a break. That's more so the problem. It's the way that we use these foods rather than the foods themselves. If this was filled to the top with sugar, that doesn't make it bad for me. But if I start to drink it, then that would be bad for me, right? It's the way that we use it, right? I could take a little bit of that sugar and go put it in my coffee, and I'll be just fine. But that doesn't mean we consume these things in high quantities and high numbers, right? That's the problem. That's the problem that we're having more so. So another question I have is this notion popular belief? I would say absolutely. It is. You'll get attacked by saying, well, that's not necessarily true. People tell us all the time, sugar is bad for you. Not really. Sugar, your body needs sugar. Your body loves sugar. It's your primary fuel source in your body. Sugar, we call sugar, or we could consider it to be carbohydrates. So I would ask, what kind of carbohydrate are you consuming? Are you consuming simple carbohydrates? You could think about that as white refined sugar, or there's some other examples as well. And you can also consider complex carbohydrates that you find in whole grains, things like oatmeal, whole wheat bread, and a bunch of different other foods as well. I could name them, but the point is, it's about the type of carbohydrate or the type of sugar that you are consuming, and how often are you consuming these things. That's more so the problem than the food itself. I could say a hammer is dangerous because somebody used a hammer to go hit somebody upside the head with it. Is it the hammer that's dangerous, or is it the way that the hammer is being used? The hammer, if it's just sitting down on a shelf, it's not dangerous at all. But I've decided to use it in a way that will cause harm. That's the problem more so than the tool itself. Food is just a tool. It's about how we use these tools. Oh, I answered the third question already. So what kind and in what quantities? We need to think about what kind of foods are we consuming, or what type of information are we consuming? How often are we consuming this information? Are we thinking critically about those people that we consider leaders? Are we thinking critically about that which we put into our bodies? Are we thinking critically about the people that are in our surrounding environment? Are we thinking about those things? Are we keeping ourselves mentally sharp, focused? Are we being skeptical as we should as people? Regardless of your occupation, as a person, you should be skeptical. You should always be open to questioning and understanding. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Once again, I got to get back to this class. I'll speak to you all later on. Peace.